Our guest right now is Eric Peacock. He is the co-founder and CEO of My Autism Team. And I'm really excited to talk to him. I've been talking to you guys about this for a couple of days now. I'm really excited to hear about this. So Eric, welcome to Autism Live.
Thanks for having me.
There you are. Tell us a little bit about My Autism Team and how this came about.
Sure. Well, My Autism Team is a social network for parents of kids with autism. It's a place for parents to meet other folks just like them who get what they're going through, who have kids kind of in the same space on the spectrum as them, and just learn from them. Our basic belief is that if your child's diagnosed with autism, it should be easy to find the best people around to help you, and often those are other parents.
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. We talk a lot on the show about having a local support group and having a global support group, because there are things that you're going to want to ask other people, like who's the barber and who is the dentist that's going to be helpful. But then you want to talk to people who have the same kinds of behaviors going on in their household that you have on. And I was saying the other day that after being on your site, it looks like you guys are putting both that local support group and that global support group together in one place.
That's right. You can kind of think of us as a combination of Facebook, the social networking of Facebook, with the local search of a Yelp, but just for parents of kids with autism. So what happens is, you can talk to other parents. Let's say you've got a 5-year-old nonverbal child who can't sit under lights in an office because it's too stimulating. That's very different from, say, a 15-year-old, very verbal child who engages independently. So you want to find other people who have a child like yours. And if that person's 3,000 miles away, what we found is our parents don't care. They just want to connect with those people and talk to them.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, we all use Facebook to connect with our friends we've known for a long time, to share little tidbits here and there. The same thing's happening on the site in terms of who you connect with and how you talk to them. That said, when you're looking for the dentist who understands a kid with a sensory processing disorder, or the swim teacher who will take a chance on your child, then you're starting to look for the parents near you. So you get both the local and the national aspect of it. And I'll say, we launched this just over a year ago, and the growth has just blown us away. So clearly we've struck a chord here.
Absolutely. I wanted to say, you're singing my song. These are exactly the kinds of things that we need and the resources that we need. Now, I'm curious because, excuse me, you're in the process of setting up a lot of these different sites for different issues, for health issues, correct?
Yes.
So it'll be My Health Team for, say, My Health Team for cancer, or My Health Team for diabetes, that kind of thing?
That's right, yeah. In fact, our next one's going to be for women going through breast cancer.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. I'm curious, though, but autism is your very first one that you created. Why? Why did you start with autism?
Well, autism's our baby. I have a nephew on the spectrum, and I saw firsthand what my brother and his wife went through. And I started, having this feeling like, I'm not an MD or a PhD, but I'm an internet guy. I had to be able to do something about this. And my co-founder, Mary, felt the same way. And so we started talking to a lot of parents of kids with autism. And they all said the same thing. They all said, God, I got this diagnosis, and I went and Googled like I've never Googled before.
Yeah.
Learned everything I could about this disease. But then I just had this instinct. Now that I know I'm supposed to do early intervention and this and that, I just want to find other parents like me and say, what did you do? Who did you use?
Yeah.
And that's where the whole thing broke down. The web was useless. And we just thought, in an age where you can find some guy you knew 20 years ago in high school in about 2 minutes on Facebook, but you can't find another parent of a child with autism just like yours, something's wrong. We ought to be able to solve that problem. And so 1 in 88 kids are impacted by this. We just thought there's way too much suffering happening that's unnecessary. And if there's one thing that we can solve in the autism equation, it's putting you in touch with other people. I wish we could solve autism. That's not our forte. That's not something we can do. But I think we're making life a lot better for parents by helping them connect with others. So that's why we did it first. We just felt really compelled to do it.
Well, I love that. I think you're really in a sweet spot, because this is something that we need. Now, let's get into the nuts and bolts of, so parents have heard about what this is. They're going to want to log on. How do they do that, Eric?
So go to myautismteam.com and join the site. It's free. when you join the site, when you join Facebook, what are you asked? You're asked, where do you live? Where do you work? Where'd you go to school? And based off that, they go, oh, here's all these people you should know. Facebook's really good at reintroducing you to people you already know. Now, as I'm sure all of your viewers know, that's kind of worthless when your child's diagnosed with autism. There's a decent chance that nobody in your Facebook circle of friends know anything about autism, and sometimes worse, they weigh in places that are inappropriate because they just don't get it.
Yeah.
So when you join my autism team, we ask you information about your child, and you can share whatever you want. You can use pseudonyms or your real name. You can use no pictures or real pictures. Most people share real pictures because this is just the site for parents of kids with autism.
Yeah.
And you can say, I have a 9-year-old. He's nonverbal. He independently engages. He has repetitive motions or fixates something. Whatever the kind of sets of behaviors are that you want to line up with other parents like you can share that. But then you can just jump right in, and you can easily search for other parents who are near you or who have a child with all the same developmental needs as your child. And then you can reach out to them. That's what people expect you and want you to do.
Absolutely. I'm on your site right now, and what I love that I think is so smart, Eric, is that there's a button there that says sign up now. And by the way, we should mention, what is the cost of this?
It's free. It's definitely free.
Wanted to make sure that everybody knew that. It's free. We love free. But once you hit that button for the sign up now, you go in the first place that you're given. It says minimum information, and that's just a couple of things that you need to put in. You're putting in your name or your screen name, your email password, your email address, and your password, and that's all that's there. But then if you scroll down, you have the option of putting in those other things that you were saying.
That's right. Most people sign in and share a whole lot up front, but there's a lot of people who sign in with the minimum information and just want to see the thing first. They want to make sure it's legit, and that's totally fine. You share what you want to share as you go. We frequently see that the people who just sign in with their email address, about a week later, they'll start to share a lot. Because
yeah, absolutely. I can see that.
This is what's fundamentally different about this. On the web, there are lots of Q&A forums and discussion boards, and then there's listservs. And you know what? They just don't meet the needs of parents of kids with autism.
Yeah.
What they want is, if they're going to ask a question, they want to know who that person is on the other side.
Yeah.
So we are first and foremost a social network where you're building real relationships with people. And the beauty of that is you'd be surprised at how quickly all the drama goes away and the controversy goes away. Because when it's a real person, your reputation matters, and you're caring about the other people you're talking to. So we don't see these kind of flame wars about vaccines and stuff like that. It just doesn't happen here.
Well, absolutely wonderful. I think we should take a break and come back and talk about this more. And while we're in the break, I'm going to sign myself up so that we can see how easy it is. And we'll talk about that more when we come back, and maybe even potentially tootle around the site for a second here. So stick with us. We're going to be back more with Eric Peacock, co-founder and CEO of My Autism Team. Stick with us. Welcome back to Autism Live. I'm Shannon Penrod, and our special guest right now is Eric Peacock. He is the co-founder and CEO of My Autism Team. You can find them at www.myautismteam.com. It's free. We've been talking with Eric about how you sign up, and in the time that we were gone, I signed up. That's how quick and easy it is. So that's a pretty fabulous thing. I didn't confirm my password. Don't give my personal information, Emily. She was showing it already. I rushed through things a little bit, and I didn't confirm my password. But Eric, I want to hear from you about, this is a year old, and you've already seen an explosion. What are your hopes for this site?
Yeah, just to put that in context, we launched this in June of 2011, so just over a year ago, and we started with 30 parents in the San Francisco Bay Area, which is where we are. And in 1 year, we went to 25,000 parents. And I think as of today, I haven't looked today, but I think it's at 27,500 or something like that.
That's amazing.
It is. So you can type in, if you go to Find Parents, you can type in any city and state in America, and now also Canada, and you're going to find parents within a 50-mile radius of you. You'll probably find a number. No matter where you type in, you'll find somebody. And it's been pretty amazing. So you think about 27,000 parents, that's about, what, 2.5% maybe of all families in America with autism?
Yeah.
So we're just getting started. We fully expect this to get to 200,000. But that growth has just been extraordinary. And I think our goal is, where we'd like to see this go next is just, if this truly gets out to all parents, if you're in a waiting room of your occupational therapist or your speech therapist or your pediatrician, and you see other parents of kids with autism, tell them about the site, because other parents are the best source of information. They're the ones who share that information about the barber and the dentist and the swim instructor and the best schools. So the more people get on the site, the easier it becomes for other parents. And that's really our goal. We want to make it easy for you to find the best people around to help you.
And I'm now in, but Emily, I don't want you to show it because I don't know that people necessarily want their stuff broadcast everywhere, because there's a lot of information here that's absolutely amazing. And I see the functionality of this, Eric, and I'm really impressed with it, because you can build your team of people and add people to your team so that you don't have to go back and hunt for them later on.
That's right. So you can add other parents, just like you follow someone on Twitter, but you can also add your providers. So typically what happens is a person comes on and they share their story, they share information about their child, again, to help them match up with other parents like them. But then you can share the OT, the speech therapist, the developmental pediatrician, the barber, the dentist, the summer camp, all of the services and local providers that you have assembled, largely through trial and error, by the way,
right.
From what I hear from these parents, so that it's there for others to see. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing quite like that word of mouth referral.
Absolutely. And I've already, there's so many things that I want to look at, and you have all these search filters on here that I can search by the age of the child, I can search by their diagnosis, I can search in terms of where in the world that I want to look, or I can keep that open if I'm looking for different things. Yes. So really very user-friendly. I love how this is all laid out. It's absolutely spectacular.
Thank you.
I have to ask you, so, I'm sure that you've had testimonials from people saying how this has helped them. What are some things that you've heard from your users?
Yeah, and this is the thing that keeps us going, and we put a lot of work into this. And every day, someone posts on this site or emails us and just says, "Thank you. I finally found a place where I can talk with other people who get it." That's the thing I hear over and over, is that phrase, "other people who get it." Yeah. Because while you can talk about and share your local providers, the way most people use this site is as a social network. Yeah. We all want to do social networking, and we want to do it about autism too. We just sure as heck don't want to do it on Facebook, where we constantly have to put things into context.
Right.
And so that, I think, is solving a big need for parents. You just want to be able to share little things during your day with other people who are going to respond and give you feedback on it. It's kind of like, when you go home and you talk to your wife about what happened at work, you just want someone to hear
yes.
what you're going through, who understands it.
Yeah, we all want to be seen and we all want to be heard. That's true of our children as well. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I see here that you have featured parents and newest parents. What does a parent do to be featured?
Parents who share their story, post a lot, share a lot, tend to get featured more because they just have so much to share with others.
Okay.
There's also a section, we do have a Q&A section where people ask and answer specific questions. In fact, this last week, we just passed 1,000 questions asked.
Wow. And
this really speaks to just how awesome the autism parent community is. We have a 95% answer rate, meaning any question that gets answered, that gets asked, is going to get answered, and it's not being answered by me; it's being answered by other parents of autism. And so, parents who do a lot of those, provide a lot of those answers that are then voted as useful by other parents, those folks would be featured as well.
Really wonderful, Eric. I gotta say, you're somebody who's really passionate about this. I can see that and I can feel that. What do you love the most about what you do?
When we started this, it was really clear that a lot of parents were frustrated. They're frustrated that they're just reinventing the wheel. Mm-hmm. And what I love about this is I'm not an MD, I'm not a PhD, I'm a technology guy, I get social networking. And we just said it doesn't need to be like this. And we introduced this great application, this website, my autism team. And then the whole community just took it over. And I had ideas of how it would work, but I'm regularly proven wrong about how it should work. Because the parents show us how they want to use it. It's incredible. They want to have a huge section talking about IEPs, off they go. They talk about IEPs. If the topic of the day is nutrition or whatever it is, I mean, it's just, we don't have to set that, they do, and people start discussing it. And so I really think that we are making life better for them. I'll tell you the other thing I'm excited about is, the autism community has been woefully underserved, right? America's been racing to keep up with the epidemic that's autism. And we tend to think about it as just we got to get more ABA therapists. But I'm telling you, the whole market for autism is underserved.
Yes.
Training education is underserved. We had a lot of parents on the site asking questions like, what happens to my child if something happens to me?
Yeah.
And there's financial products for that. So now that I've got, a website with 27,000 parents of kids with autism, I want to use our strength and our numbers on our behalf, meaning the parents of kids with autism behalf. And let me clarify, I'm not a parent of a child with autism. I didn't.
Oh, no, we understand. And you were very clear about that from the beginning.
Right.
And please know, I'm a parent of a child on the autism spectrum. And we acknowledge and know that there are people who are trying to help us. And we appreciate it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to apologize for that.
But what I want to do is, if I go talk to a big financial services provider, let's say Mass Mutual, who has a financial product for special needs kids, and I can say, let's tailor that to the needs of autism. Let's get a discount for all the parents on my autism team. That's how we can start to leverage our numbers on our behalf. So that's kind of what I'm interested in doing next.
Well, Eric, I'm glad you're on our team.
Well, thank you.
Because you're one smart cookie and you're doing great things. I want to say again, so for parents, this is absolutely free, that they can go in and participate and connect. Absolutely free. Tell us the website again, and we'll put it up on the screen.
It's myautismteam.com.
Okay. Now, you are also on Facebook, if people want to like you on Facebook, correct?
Yes.
And
Facebook, and then just search for My Autism Team.
Okay, great. And I hope that a lot more people will, because the more people there that are using it, the more amazing it will become.
Yes.
Well, Eric, I hope that you'll check back with us from time to time and let us know when you've got big things going on or that you want to introduce. And we'll certainly be talking about you guys on a regular basis here to let people know that they can connect in this way.
Well, thank you so much. We just launched our iPhone app, and so we'll come back to you when we've got the Android app out.
Okay, because I'm Android, so let us know.
Okay.
But for our iPhone users, they can find that in their app store?
That's right.
Okay. Wonderful. Great idea. Thank you so much for being with us, Eric, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Shannon. You too.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.